How's it going? So I've been goofing around with the bow again. Spent a bit of time trying to get that flat shape to like merge into the outer shape. And this is how it's going. There's a lot of weird pyramids that we don't have access to. We can XML some of them, but then you end up in this kind of situation where you can't get all of them. You probably can get all of them, but it's just like, it's very confusing to try and figure it out. I would like to bring that shape back in because I think it was good, but whether or not it would work how I want it to is a different matter completely. So get rid of all this. I'm gonna stop working on the hull and the bow today and I'm gonna do a crane. So I'll make a miniature of the crane I want. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go just on one side. Like it'll just be here and it probably won't slide or anything. It could slide, but it's likely that it doesn't. So I'll turn on symmetry and build it in the middle and then cut it and shift it across to the side. So the crane will go, there'll be like a section that's down on the deck that doesn't rotate, and then it will flare out a little bit. And then the rotating section will go up. So then a section will come up and we'll have like a counterweight that hangs off the back. Do a bit of decorating on here and it will, might need to move this. We'll have a hinge in here, then a big segment that comes across and it will probably go down like this, like that. Then there'll be a hinge at this end, which goes down, and then this section will go back under below it, probably on an angle. Something like that. This will probably be a lot smoother. And then we'll just decorate that up. So I'll need a big structure that can spin, and I wonder if I should use the turret ring. That would give me a good like size to say this is as big as you want it to be. And then what I can do is maybe I don't know if I want an internal space inside it or anything. So if I put a door though, can I should be able to put things right up on the edge. I'm thinking it could be cool to have a ladder in the middle that rotates around. Something like that. And so this ladder goes down the middle, rotates with the top, and then there's a door connected to the top, probably opens outwards. And then there can be a platform that goes around the outside of it. So the section that's like poking out will just be where the walkway is, I guess. How this little lip thing, that'll be the walkway. And it may not need to go the whole way around. I think that works out quite well actually. It's like, I probably don't need the rail segment. This, what's it called? This, what is that called? Just a rail middle piece. Just do all corners. It's too wide, is it? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, you know what then? No, I've got to have space for the door to open. If the door opens inwards, I can bring it down. Bring the size of the walkway down. And I mean, I don't actually have that much space because it's on the back of a boat. I'm going to go with 2 because like a 2 wide gap, because it does seem like it makes more sense for it to be like this tight enclosed space. And I can always expand it later if it really doesn't work. So the door will open inwards, which might mean that the ladder needs to come back more. That door's going to sweep back into here. Can I put a wedge? Oh, I can't. That would have been cool if you could fully wedge that up. I can XML a wedge into there, I think. Most likely I can. Or I can just cover it up. But then the door's gonna be over that. As long as there's like 3 blocks of space here, 3 by 3, because that's your character's space. Yeah, that'll work. I can't remember if the ring pivot is very strong. I think it's not. It is a velocity pivot, which is fine. But it's the strength, the motor force, that's what I want. What am I looking for? Pivot. Turret. It's 2000. And just a normal velocity pivot is 1000, so it should be fine for being able to actually spin around. As long as it's heavy, it shouldn't twist off. I'm just going to copy the top section where the door is, because that's exactly what I want. Out to the floor. Copy that, probably turn it so like the door is facing towards the bow. Give it a space for the roof above. Get rid of this. So yeah, that top section will rotate around. Bottom section is your way in. Ladder comes all the way down. Probably not even need to go all the way down, but down enough. I don't want to make this ladder like one of these that has the gaps in between them, but then it's either running on the ground or it's like too high up. The way to fix it is to move the door down. And so I should be able to just put pipes or something. And so then you'll come outside, and I guess there'll be like an operator's seat somewhere. You probably will have to climb up something, right? This is already very big for this ship. It's a really cool idea, but I don't know, maybe it's getting too big. If I put a ladder here, it won't fit because of the rail. I mean, this is the experience, right? You can open this door from wherever, and then the ladder can be on any angle. Go up, by the door, and then it's actually a little tricky to get around this, so maybe extending it out to 3 is a good idea. But it's not so bad that it's a real pain in the ass. You can just tell like where the bad hitboxes on these rails are on the corners. It's like running into just normal blocks. Now I'm extending the outer rail, which will let me push the door, or open the door the other way to the outside. And then this will also let me put ladders on the side so that I can get up to like a cab or something. Might make more sense if the ladder was on the other side. This crane is already kind of massive. I'm thinking I need these hinges on it somewhere, which will act as a fake piston. I'm not going to use pistons because they're actually kind of weak. The bit that moves it up and down, I think I'll use velocity pivots. Or I'll just use power pivots and see how I go. So you only get 200 force, but with a compact pivot I can use a couple of them, so we can go like 4 basically. Maybe not 4. Yeah, we can go 4. And then connect all of these together. So we go from 4 sets of 200 to 800 total output. That's kind of in proportion. I don't want it to be so big that you can't see what's going on, like it stands out on the back of the boat. Maybe I should have just made like a stick. Should have just been a stick. So then from this end, it will go down, but like back in. Back in a little bit. And then from here it goes very far back under. which, yeah, maybe it should just go straight. It's not exactly what I would like, but I'll end up fighting so hard to try and get it to look how I want it. And then on the end there'll be another pivoting section. That's pretty cool. That's a nice size. That is a nice size. Yeah. I'll be able to grab heaps of stuff. It doesn't pivot out more than that though. Oh, it needs to start open so that this is fully closed, because there's no reason for it to be able to pivot into itself more. So it needs to start like that. That's not good. But there isn't much reason for it to be able to pivot down either, so it could easily start like this, given enough space, vertical space. So then it would like do a reset when it spawns and it would just go meow. And that would be it's like fully down. And then I can turn it. And since it's a turret ring, it can go all the way around constantly. That's pretty good, eh? So if there's any boats or anything that are stuck in the ocean and it's like, tow this thing to the dock, I'm just gonna pick it up. Just gonna pick it up, chuck it on the back, and rather than tow it, we'll just carry it there. So yeah, I just need to zhuzh up the way that the crane looks. I think the tower is good. I probably need to put the seat like over to the side so that you climb up and then there's like a cab here or something. And then I can put like a big decorative cable thing on the back. And this kind of crane doesn't have any boom extensions, so that's quite nice. There's no crazy logic for that. Yeah, I just need to... This is really simple logic. The only thing might be stopping it from being able to pivot all the way back and hitting the ship's like structure, unless I take it from the rear. I need weight in the rear, don't I? Hold on, I need to save stuff. Let me chuck it in the water, because now there's a whole bunch of weight on the back. It might be a bit happier about sitting level in the water. There also is, we've got to keep in mind that when it picks something up, we're adding all of that weight onto it, so it's likely to sink again. Like the back of it's likely to sink down. I think that's pretty good. Once you get the stabilizer put in, it won't lean or anything like this. The stabilizer is going to be so heavy that it just won't care. I don't want this in the center, but it should be okay because I'm going to offset the weight of the crane with its own dedicated weight. Okay, let's just make some crane segments then. I think that's really nice simple main body section, and I can put some paint blocks and stuff on it, give it give it some warning signs or something. You've got a little walkway on the top. So that would be this top bit here. I might swap over to hinges. I think hinges have 400. Yeah, 400 motor. So you can do 2 compact pivots or 2 pivots for 200 to get 400. Or I can just do 2 hinges. So 2 hinges versus 4 pivots, basically. The problem is getting it to start in the right position. It's probably okay. Oh dear. Damn. I would need it to start like this to get all the movement I want on it. So yeah, it's, I think this segment here is probably not too bad for starting position. It's the next one long. Yeah, this section's never gonna need to go further than like this, maybe like 45 degrees. I could even make it so that the bottom segment is picked up later. Like it could be a thing that spawns on the deck and then connects with a hard point. Or it could rotate into position. I'll just make it and then I'll see how big it is and figure it out from that. Well, a couple of XML shenanigans later, we've got this lovely little thingamabob, and I can tell it's already way too big for like starting open, so it's gonna have to do something weird. And yeah, it cuts in a bit too much as well, so I'm not sure if it just like opens a little bit when it spawns, or if I just bring it further down and then maybe use a wedge or something. But what I'll do, get it all connected up and then see what kind of range it has. So I've gone for this kind of like strengthened metal look on both beams. I think it looks quite good. I don't think I want to put the bottom segments on this one. The end piece should be quite smooth, I think. It needs a lot more mass over the where the cabin area is going to be. But at least when it's closed, it can swing out across the back without hitting anything. This is all backwards. Yeah, see, like fully extended, it's actually still heaps of range. I don't know if I would need any more than that. This is massive. So then you would just be able to close it all up. That would have a 0 lockout. It wouldn't go further than 0. And then this one would do the same thing. Wouldn't go further than 0. And that would nearly ensure that you're not going to bonk anything, especially if it was like doing a reset. If you were doing something out over here, I wonder if actually there could be like a lockout for up and down. So if you wanted to extend the bottom section, you can't extend it until the top section is up a certain amount, so it always clears the deck. And then for any resets, if you're open all the way like this, you would reset the top section, then you would reset the bottom section, and then you would reset the rotation. And then just have some hard points somewhere that lock it all into place. And on the very end of it, I guess you would just put like a hard point or something, maybe a winch as well. This kind of winch though, this is only 150 meters, and this is the kind of ship that would be operating in like real deep sea. So I wish they would do something about winches actually. This has just brought to light my frustration with winches. We should be able to load up winches with ropes, just keep extending them or something. Make some kind of pulley system that loads ropes into winches. Because if I want to use that, it'd actually be the other way. If I want to use that to pick something up, it's got to be 150 meters below, like it can't be more than 150 meters under the surface from sea level. Unless I'm going to like add a winch onto it. Like if you add another winch, then that brings you down to 300. And then on this one, you could have like magulls, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. You could do a magul pattern, you could do rope anchors. I mean, this, I don't like that this is a solution, but this might even be necessary because you would need this kind of stuff, these attachment points, if you're going to be doing anything. You might also want little handles so that you can hold on to it, maybe even some kind of control scheme like buttons so that you can dive down with this, attach whatever you want to attach to it, and then swim your way back. If it's 2 winches at 2.5, it's essentially a 5-speed winch, right? So let's go, I'll just put 1 for winch up and 2 for winch down. Is that gonna work? Because I'm not... What is that doing? Because I'm not sending the signal over composite. I don't know if it's gonna receive that signal. Damn. I guess that answers that question. It is very heavy. Nothing's working. Oh, that looks pretty cool actually when it's like all the way flat. Doing a lot of leaning here. And it's actually not even finished because I wanted to put fake pistons all over it. The end weight is probably where it needs to be, but yeah. This is a nice crane though. If I can't put it on a boat, I can definitely put it on a dock. That's pretty accurate, isn't it? For like what I've started with, this little example here and what I've got. Obviously we get rid of that, get rid of all this crazy stuff, get rid of that, get rid of that. Potentially just putting on a counterweight is actually gonna like solve a lot of the problems that we're having here. It'd be nice if we had wider windows. We had like a 5 wide window. That'd be really nice. So for the cab, I think I'll just use as many windows as possible, I think. Ugh, they're kind of ugly though, aren't they? I don't like when you start stacking too many of the same window together. Is there a need for this to be sealed? If you're operating in the Arctic, it'll be a real pain in the ass to keep you warm if it's not sealed. And I've got no space to like hop in and out of the seat because it's so narrow. It needs to be like 7 wide, possibly. I can definitely stretch the windows out. That's not really an issue. I would say this is probably the kind of crane that you do want some vertical visibility, some upwards visibility. So I think if I stretch this window out to 5, which means I need to convert all that to probably 1 wide windows. How do you get out of the seat is what I'm really wondering about. It'd be really nice if I could just get 2 blocks of space down one side. Hangs out a bit, but I don't know if that really matters. If I move the ladder back, then I can claim back this row. Whatever I do, this kind of has to be an odd number so that the window will actually stretch across it without looking real goofy. Oh, it's not an odd number, is it? Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can tell I've already like burnt myself out. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Hit the limit. I'm trying to just like create a heavier spot up here though. So like it's its own counterweight basically. I just fill up a big cube or something on the back with barrels. I think what would look really nice as well is some of these really big flywheels. Oh man, I need a bigger flywheel. Can we go bigger than this? I'm gonna have to XML this. Okay. So how heavy is a winch? 400 mass. So we've got this winch is just for decoration. I mean, it could be used in some sort of situation, but mainly that's for decoration. Then we need a flywheel. And because I'm going to be XMLing the size, I'm just going to use the one that I like the look of. Actually, using the smaller one might even make more sense. So those are 200 mass, 400 mass. We've got 2468, 1600 mass just here, just in this little blob. That should be a good enough counterweight. Oh no, flywheels don't like being XML'd. Damn. Damn you flywheels. Not even a little bit? Oh, there we go. What went wrong? Because now I've got 2 out of 3 and now 3 out of 3. 3 out of 3 makes it disappear, which is kind of weird. It's just straight up deleted the flywheel when it has 3 of its values modified. Well, that's what I want. Why did it delete it? So that looks like a big cable kind of thing, right? That's what I was going for. Maybe like a big cable holder thing. Oh, its hitbox is stretched out. See, when you come onto here, you get these little 1 blocks that are cut out. So that's the hitbox being stretched. It's like evenly spaced out between the 4 corners. If I could make just this one, even if it's just this one, if I make it heaps wider, can I get like a black, is there any kind of black wheel? There's like a rocket. Rocket? If I make a rocket gray? That's not quite right. Yeah? It's not enough polygons, not enough faces. I don't know if that's very convincing. Is that convincing as like a big rope spool, big wire spool? It's actually not that big. It could be bigger. I think I would like the spool thing to be a lot bigger if I am gonna do that. You can take this and just cut it and put it more central. That's where it would be. And then it would be like really far back. And then actually what's likely to happen is instead of having the ladder right here for access to the cab, you would put it on the other side. And so now it's more like access to the upper level of the walkways and such. I think this crane is getting too big, so I need to pull back what my original idea was. As in, my original idea was that it was too big. It was a much bigger crane than this. All I need right now to make it work is a cab and a counterweight. Alright, that is a counterweight. I think what I'm going to do is like have it... it'll be like a... Probably can use a radar for this as like a represent a pin of some kind. Boom, 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 boom. What am I looking for? Maybe like a tilt sensor? I want a little nubby thing. Yeah. So now I've got this big old thing on the back. Probably needs something a lot nicer looking than this. Something like this. It is obviously cutting into where I want to put my ladder. I want to see if this is going to tip over. If I lift everything up, extend it all. Now that we've got this counterweight, go this way. Oh, that's something's not happy. What did I hit? I think the counterweight's not far enough away, so it's really just adding more weight. Nah, it's just not. It's not enough weight. That's all. These hinges need to move a lot slower, but I should be able to have it sit out like this and be level. And I'm running out of space at the back here. Just lifting it up actually starts everything wobbling. I'm definitely hitting something. I'm hitting something and it's causing it to freak out and tip over. Might be a block somewhere in here that's not merged in properly. Go up. Did anything... We're up. Now turn. Yeah, what's that about? It might be like where the ladder is. This wedge here might be interfering with the inside of the pivot. The turret ring. So as it goes around, these corners are obviously going to be not as fat. No. Is it the outside pieces on the old counterweight? And these pieces here, the top spins, but the bottom doesn't spin. So as they go around, they might be interfering. It doesn't look like they would though. Now it's fine. Truly a mystery. We'll never know. We'll never know the answer. I mean, that's better than before. It's still going over, but that is better. Which means it's gonna be a lot of weight. The thing is, you can either have lots of weight very close or not as much weight but very far away. And I've got no very far away because this is the edge of the build zone. I'm pretty happy with the boom part of the crane, and it's just the cab really. Just the cab and the counterweight that are a bit sketchy, a bit sus. And then I think the final placement of the crane is going to be to spin it around and put the rotating part here, or to leave it in this orientation and move the rotating, or the base over to the sort of middle on the right hand side of the ship. I don't want it in the middle of the whole ship because if you're going to be loading stuff onto the back, you want to have as much deck space as possible. So whatever this weighs, I'll probably cut it once it's finished, put it in its own vehicle file, see what the mass is, and then take that exact same amount of mass and chuck it down below deck somewhere, or decorate something to look like a lot of mass. But if I'm already having to use this many barrels, it's going to be extremely heavy. Oh, there's something here. I think these rails hitbox is just like broken. So I might have to put a ladder over here maybe. Man, what is up with this? Anyway, and then climb up to here. There'll be a door. We'll be able to go inside. There may not be a door. There probably will be a door. And then, yeah, we've got a crane. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.